The following is a live presentation of Orbit ESPN.
We now join this Orbit ESPN program already in progress.
Final home game as a Bill. Mike, could be the end of an era.
And Susie, everybody around the Bills says, look out for Moles to have a big game tonight. And if he does, we'll track it with the Visa Skycam, providing some of the most unique and memorable images ever seen from angles no other single camera in the world can achieve. We're excited to bring it to you as part of the Broncos and the Bills here tonight. In addition to that, wired for sound, Broncos defensive end Trevor Price, part of a very good unit up front for Denver. Broncos and Bills on a cold night in Buffalo. We'll kick it off in less than a minute.
ESPN presents exclusive coverage of the battle for Holland. The Dutch Cup. From the lowlands to the cities, action that brings fans to their feet. All of the Netherlands' big clubs fight it out for the country's top honours. The Dutch Cup. The Dutch Cup. Early round coverage begins with Holders PSV taking on FC20. Tuesday on ESPN.
ESPN welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Miles southeast of downtown Buffalo, Orchard Park, New York, the home finale for the 4-9 Bills against the 10-3 Broncos, and by virtue of that Kansas City loss at the Meadowlands to the Giants, the road to the AFC West title has gotten a little bit easier for Denver. This night will be better than last night because we had snow squalls, a lake effect snow come through. Chance of just snow showers here tonight, but that wind will swirl as the evening goes on, and the temperature be in the 20s on the thermometer and feel in the teens to these hardy Western New Yorkers who watch their Bills one last time. Jason Elam out of Hawaii. Thousands of miles away in mind and breath. Set to kick it off to Terrence McGee, the Pro Bowl kick returner from a year ago. Off we go from Orchard Park. Short kick, very good return group. McGee from the 16. Able to take it to the sideline and out of bounds at the 44-yard line. A return to 28. Patrick Jakura knocked him out of bounds. Here comes Buffalo on offense. This is the Bills team that's struggling to score points. 29th in the league. Trey Teague leads the offensive line. He's a former Denver Bronco. As for the pass catchers, Eric Moles has 54 catches this year, but Lee Evans has come on. 39, including 6 touchdowns. Willis McGahee in the backfield along with David Shelton, and Kelly Holcomb gets the start, his 6th start of the season. J.P. Lossman with the shoulder injury is the number 3 quarterback here tonight. Opening snap from the 44, and here is McGahee, who was very limited against the Patriots last week. Is Denver defensive front 2nd in the NFL in rushing yards allowed. Up front, a bunch of old Cleveland Browns, including Courtney Brown, the former #1 overall pick out of Penn State. As for the linebackers, speed all over, led by Al Wilson, a 3-time Pro Bowler in the middle. In the secondary, you got the veteran John Lynch back there. Champ Bailey has an interception in 5 consecutive games. That is a Denver Bronco record. Officially a gain of 3. This is 2nd and 7 for the Bills. And Holcomb will go to the air for the first time. Throwing for Moles. Eric Moles, first catch, as Susie said, fan favorite, and you hear the warm welcome back for Eric Moles. A gain of 27.
And it was a beautiful route, Mike. I like to think Champ Bailey moving over, trying to show man-to-man, but it's actually his zone. Eric Moles is one of the very cute route runners in this league, does a great job, and Kelly Holcomb put it exactly where that football needed to be.
Moles only had 1 catch of over 20 yards all season until he catches that one for 27. Bills have been a very good opening drive team this year. Here is McGahee right into the middle of that front. Gets into the red zone to the 19-yard line. Well, we told you J.P. Lossman has the shoulder injury. Mike Mularkey, the Bills head coach, told us on Thursday that if healthy, Lossman, the second-year man out of Tulane, would have started. Instead, it's Kelly Holcomb, who backed up Peyton Manning in Indianapolis, then Tim Couch in Cleveland, and now here he is preparing for the future for the Bills. But he's the present right now.
And this is a great time for him to play, Mike, because he is going to get the football out of his hand. He's very accurate, as you saw in the throw to Eric Moles, and he understands this offense and what his role is. He's okay with being called a manager, which seems to be the in vogue term at quarterback nowadays.
To Moles on 2nd and 3, give him the first down in front of Champ Bailey over at the 15-yard line. That's funny because that's the term that describes almost every quarterback on the planet. Can he manage the game? This is a manager of the game.
This is definitely a manager. They want to run the football, Mike, but Kelly Holcomb is a guy that can do things just like we just saw, getting the football out of his hands. I thought what was interesting was when he named his top 3 managers in the game, he named guys like Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and Drew Brees in San Diego. 3 guys I would have never thought would have the title of manager follow their name.
1st and 10, and Holcomb back to the air, to the end zone, too high for his tight end, Mark Campbell, and incomplete. We should point out from an injury standpoint, there's one significant one to watch for the Broncos in the secondary. Darrent Williams has been their starting cornerback, the 2nd-round pick out of Oklahoma State. He has a groin injury, so Dominique Foxworth, who is also a rookie out of Maryland, has played well, has started a few games, has to come into that starting role tonight.
Not only that, Jerome Cox is going to come in as well because he is now going to be the nickel guy. So you got a safety playing inside on a very interesting wide receiver that can basically get open and make plays.
McGahee on 2nd and 10. Good patience to cut it up to the 10. We'll have 3rd and 4 coming up. Nick Ferguson, the strong safety, comes up to make the play.
You know, Willis McGahee is one of those guys who, you know, he needs carries to get into a rhythm. And I think the Buffalo Bills offensive play calling right now, getting him started with the run, getting Eric Moles going with the run, they're assuming some identity, Mike. They want to come out and run the football, but when they throw it, Eric Moles seems to be the first option when they throw it. Outstanding play calling so far in this drive.
He comes out, Shad Williams out of Alabama. The 3rd down back is in. 3rd and 4. Roscoe Parrish, the rookie out of Miami, in motion. Broncos bring heat. The quick toss is a terrific tackle of Josh Reed in the open field by the Pro Bowler Champ Bailey. Will probably force a Buffalo field goal attempt. Let's see.
It's 4-9, Mike. They're 4-9. Great play by Champ Bailey, laying out in the zone. But I tell you what, great play, but I tell you what, 4th down, when you're 4-9, Mike, we got a whole lot to lose. And we're trying to find out what we're going to be in the 2006 season. This is a great call for the Buffalo Bills. I think this is something we should see all night long.
Indecision at first, but now they will go with the play clock, as you see, down at 10. And they'll do it out of the gun on 4th and a short 2. The rookie Parrish was in the wrong spot, and Shad Williams does a great job of getting the timeout. Play came in late. Parrish was in the wrong spot. Williams saw it. Mike Mularkey will have a timeout to think about if he still wants to go for it or get 3 points out of the opening drive. 4:15 gone by. No score.
ESPN Sport Legends presents Pete Sampras. Pete Sampras retired from tennis in 2003 with a record 14 Grand Slam titles. Consistently ranked #1 in the 90s, he's spoken of in the same breath as the all-time greats. However, his unemotional style made it difficult for many to see his greatness while he was playing.
With me, there really isn't anything controversial or that's where I got the claim of the boring thing. It was because I didn't, throw my racket or act like a jerk out there.
He's extremely true to himself. He's never tried to be something he's not. The only thing he's ever tried to be is the greatest tennis player who ever lived. He's a man of whole cloth. I applaud it.
You can't instill or inject my personality into Pete Sampras. A true fan would look at that and say, man, this is a bluff.
As he's accepted himself, other people are going to have to accept him for who he is.
Mike Mularkey and the Bills will go for it here on 4th and a short 2. Here in the opening drive of the game. Opening drives have been good to the Bills offense and very good to the Broncos defense. They actually allowed points for the first time last week, a field goal to Baltimore. No touchdowns allowed on opening drives. Instead of the shotgun, they come back with the fullback. Play action to McGahee. They throw complete to Shelton. First down. Ball came out and goes out of bounds. So the Bills should have it at the 1, 1st and goal. First down was achieved, and then a 4th down fumble on this play.
We talked about identity in the opening, and you see on 4th and 1, the Bills come out and throw a short pass to their fullback, and I think that's something that they allow Kelly Holcomb. They know will protect the football, will get it to the right person. Now here we are, 1st and goal, with an opportunity to hang 7 on the Denver Bronco defense that's actually played pretty well throughout this season.
So Shelton comes up with his 9th reception on the year, was carrying the ball pretty loosely. To McGahee. Pounding forward. And in. Touchdown, Buffalo.
Very nice play call and a very nice finish by Willis McGahee, who's got to be frustrated. His touches are down this year, so a little extra effort, a little extra power finds the Buffalo Bills for 6 in the end zone.
They bring Ryan Denny in, the defensive lineman, to help up front, and it has been a while for McGahee. Back in the end zone, his 5th touchdown on the season, a 1,000-yard season for the AFC's 5th leading rusher.
Interesting guy, Mike. He's just a fun-loving guy, a guy who enjoys playing the game. You wouldn't think a Florida boy coming up here to Buffalo would enjoy playing in this kind of weather, but he was actually looking forward to coming up playing in this kind of weather and making a statement for the end of the season for not only himself, but for his football team.
Broncos going to challenge this year, and Mike Shanahan has been the most successful challenger since the replay rule went into effect back in '99. 24 of 59 challenges have been reversed. Let's get another look at it. You see, as his head was pushed back, it doesn't look like the ball is coming forward toward the goal line to break it. That angle, it looks a little more clear.
Oh, he fumbled.
He did lose the ball, but the referee on that side, who had that same view, is the one who came in and said touchdown. Right. Question is, did he have it beforehand? We will check it out as we step out for a minute. Perhaps the Buffalo Bills are up 6.
And now, more great moments on ESPN. The year was 2004. The San Antonio Spurs and the Los Angeles Lakers were locked in an NBA Conference semifinal. Tim Duncan scores a clutch point, only to be outdone by Derek Fisher. A celebration of sports memories from around the globe. Great moments on ESPN.
Broncos have challenged the ruling on the field of a Buffalo touchdown. Bernie Kukar, who's worked 2 Super Bowls, is in there looking. Let's look along with him. Again, a couple of things here. First, you have to look if McGahee crosses the plane and gets in for a touchdown.
And right there, it looks like he does. On that look right there, it looks like he does.
Now, the second thing you'll see is, does he cross the plane before John Lynch is able to knock the ball out?
Right there, it looks like he does.
Again, understanding that look is not right down the plane of the goal line. then as the ball comes out, I was hearing a lot of whistles after the official on the far side came in and signaled touchdown.
That is correct.
So then we don't know if it was ever decided which team recovered the ball in that pile. So Kukar looking at these replays now.
Is this the segment of the show where I stick my neck out and say which way it's going to go?
If you so choose.
Okay, I choose not to. No, I'm going to say it's going to be reversed. They're taking way too much time. I don't think it's going to be a touchdown.
You don't?
No.
Okay. Kukar discussing it with Bill Schuster, the umpire. And he'll come out. I think it's a touchdown.
After reviewing the play stands as called touchdown. Large timeout, Denver.
I can't believe Bernie did it to me like that.
Mike Shanahan, as I mentioned, he has won 24 of now 60 challenges. That is the most since this rule came in. And he said, hey, Bernie, I think he wants to continue the conversation with the veteran official. But the Bills get on the board for the 6th time this season on an opening drive. Only the Indianapolis Colts have been more successful. The problem is
there hasn't been a whole lot after the first drive.
6 touchdowns on the opening drive, 13 on the rest of the...
Yeah, that's not very good.
Ryan Lindell out of Washington State has never missed an extra point, and he'll try this from 5 yards farther back.
I think number 82 might have moved just a wee bit, or 92 that is. Number 92.
Ball start. 92 offense.
He moved just a wee bit.
Penalty.
Ryan Denny, the 4th-year man out of BYU, who came in as an extra blocker on the touchdown run by McGahee about 10 minutes ago.
It does seem like that long ago, didn't it?
And it's cold enough that you really don't have to work hard to freeze the kicker tonight. All right, so Lindell belatedly bangs it home, and the Bills are on top 7-0. Jake Plummer and the Broncos get their chance to respond as McGahee punches it in. The 4th down decision to go for it. The nice completion for Kelly Holcomb to Eric Moulds early on the drive. It's been a tough December up here in Western New York. Good start tonight for Mike Mularkey and the Bills.
The finest figure skaters from around the globe compete in the ISU Grand Prix. From the city of Osaka, Japan, the NHK Trophy. Tuesday on ESPN.
I'm in.
The whole set.
This ESPN NFL special brought to you by Budweiser. Bright, crisp, clean, pure. This is Budweiser. This is beer. Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. With Visa's multiple layers of security, you're protected. Madden NFL 2006, as real as it gets, in stores now. And mouth-watering Campbell's Chunky Chili. Pick some up for your next tailgate party.
Ryan Lindell kicks off. Rock Alexander returns, takes it out to the 32-yard line. Alexander returning because of the Darren Williams injury. Ryan Neufeld makes the tackle. Broncos offense to the field. Tom Neion, his 165th start, 6th most in Broncos history, along with the other non-speaking Bronco defensive linemen. Rod Smith and Ashley Lilly. Rod Smith, a couple of catches shy of 70. A very special mark if he gets there tonight. We'll talk about it in a minute. Kyle Johnson and Mike Anderson in the backfield around Jake Plummer. Anderson 129 yards away from a 1,000-yard season. Drive start at the 33, and here is Plummer. Incomplete pass broken up by Troy Vincent, intended for Rod Smith. Here are the other 10 guys with Troy on the Buffalo defense. Been a very good season on the end for Aaron Schobel, who has 10 tackles. Justin Bannon starts for Sam Adams tonight. London Fletcher, maybe a Pro Bowl season. Been terrific at linebacker, especially with the absence of Takeo Spikes. And in the secondary, all those veterans. With Nate Clements, who's been to the Pro Bowl, at corner at Ohio State, free agent next year, has struggled this year. 2nd and 10. Plummer scrambling. Complete. Shy of the first down to Smith as Vincent and McGee combine to stop him.
Very interesting for the Denver Broncos, who spoke so fondly about running the football with us on yesterday, to come out throwing the football. But I tell you what, they got a lot of confidence in Jake Plummer, a guy who has learned to protect the football, and the word that everybody kept using, decision making. And they said Jake's decision making is the key to his success in 2005.
This has been the down for the Bills defense. They have been awful.
That's a good word.
Down
yeah, that's a good word for it.
Last in the league. Plummer will go to the air again, and it is dropped by Steven Alexander. So Buffalo gets a 3-and-out, and with a team at 4-9 and fans who are going to be cold, the one thing you don't want to do is give them a reason to be warm.
Do not let them hang around, Mike. You cannot let the Buffalo Bills hang around, and that is exactly what the Denver Broncos are doing right now, because crowd getting into it. If Roscoe can give them a very good return right here, this game could be very interesting, to say the least.
Todd Sauerbrunn came over as a free agent. He's been terrific for the Broncos this year. His average is 44.5. Roscoe Parrish back deep to receive for Buffalo. Not a good kick by Sauerbrunn. It'll be about 38 yards, and Buffalo will take over at its own 20-yard line. Good opening drive for Willis McGahee, including the 1-yard touchdown run. Already passed his run total from last week. We'll watch the Bills offense back on the field when you come back.
When a boxer prepares, he's only thinking of success. He's only thinking of destruction. But to conquer, he must obliterate the hopes of his opponent and be the only man standing. Fight night.
One week from Santa's journey. Christmas Eve next Saturday.
I'm not ready.
You're not ready?
I'm not ready.
It's getting here no matter what. 7-0. Bills leading the Broncos. Buffalo scoring on its opening drive. Denver 3-and-out here on a cold night in Orchard Park. Mike Tirico, Sterling Sharp, Susie Culver down on the sideline. Bills taking over 1st and 10 at their own 20 with Pelly Holcomb under center. Bowles, a 27-yard grab on that first drive, was the motion man. Here is Parrish, the rookie from Miami, shoved out of bounds. Look out, a couple of people taking a spill on the slick sideline, but a first down gain. Penalty marker is down. Well, we have a tack on to this.
Personal foul.
Wow.
Unnecessary roughness. Number 55 of the defense, a late hit on a bounce. Will add 15 yards to the end of the run. First down.
DJ Williams, it was a cane on a cane there.
Wow. I tell you what, Buffalo's getting this all go. Well, he did step out. I'll give him that. I'll give him, he stepped out right. Ooh, I don't know. Ooh.
By the letter of the law, accurate.
Yes,
by the
yes.
feel of football,
No,
wrong.
yes.
1st and 10 from the 46. Buffalo's offense looking very crisp in the first few snaps. A flag comes in as McGahee tries to take it past John Lynch and Ian Gold. He's brought down at midfield, but the flag is in the spot that usually spells holding.
And that's something that has plagued this offense all season long.
Holding, 58 offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
Chris Villarreal is flagged for the hold. We are in Orchard Park, New York for the home finale for the Buffalo Bills. The importance for Denver, if they get a victory here, they are in the playoffs. A victory here and a San Diego loss tomorrow, and the Broncos will win the AFC West. They control their own fate in terms of the #2 seed in the AFC behind Indianapolis that has already cinched home field throughout the AFC playoffs. Broncos offside as Sean Williams runs it for 4, so they'll take the flag, and we'll have a 1st and 15 coming up.
That was an interesting set of plays right there, Mike. I mean, the Buffalo Bills have been killed with timeless penalties. Seem like they get on a roll and they get a holding or an offside.
The defensive left tackle. The 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
And it seems like every time Buffalo gets something going, there's a penalty. Denver turns around and gives it right back. Denver's defense is very interesting because they have the worst of getting teams 3 and out off the football field. They are not a 3 and out kind of defense. So this should be a very good chess match to watch tonight as well.
Well, they've kept people off the scoreboard this year, only 18 per game. Sean Williams on the toss, looking for room. Eluded the tackle of Ebenezer Ekubon and was brought down by Al Wilson, a terrific middle linebacker, the 1st-round pick back in '99, and we'll have 2nd and about 14 or 16 coming up.
With the speed of the Denver Broncos defense, sideline to sideline is not the way you probably would want to run the football on this team.
Little wrinkle here for the Bills, going no huddle, trying to keep the Broncos in their base personnel. They go no backs for Holcomb, using the same personnel, lining up in 5 receivers with Williams and the tight end Mark Campbell. Holcomb looks for the mismatch, tried to thread it through a very tight hole intended for Eric Moulds, and it was incomplete. Deflected by Al Wilson. Before 3rd down, a reminder that our NFL double coverage weekend continues tomorrow, and with what happened today in Foxborough, this game takes on even more intrigue. The Atlanta Falcons against the Chicago Bears. You know, Mike Vick and Warwick Dunn, Algie Crumpler, and Brian Urlacher, but such an important game in the NFC playoff picture. Mike Patrick, Joe Theismann, Paul McGuire will be there. They're there already.
We don't get to do that. We don't get to do that.
No, Susie will join them there. Game time after prime time tomorrow on ESPN. 3rd and 17. Sean Williams running. He will be well shy of the 1st down as he gains about 8 yards. So the Bills get the advantage of the bad punt, the 15-yard penalty, but can do nothing with it.
And that's been their story offensively all season long. They start off like gangbusters, and then all of a sudden it's almost like they feel like they can exhale. And as an offense that's searching for an identity and searching for something good to happen, which is what Mike Mularkey told us on Thursday, this is not the way to start, but a lot of football left to play.
Brian Moorman, who leads the league in net punting, set to kick it. Beautiful hang time. Will this bounce into the end zone? Yes, it will. Did not spin it over, so while it is a 52-yard punt, the net will be just 32. And Jake Plummer, the Broncos, all passes the 1st drive and a 3 and out. Let's see what Jake in Denver does after this.
And now, more great moments on ESPN. The year was 2004. The San Antonio Spurs and the Los Angeles Lakers were locked in an NBA Conference semifinal. Tim Duncan scores a clutch point, only to be outdone by Derek Fisher. A celebration of sports memories from around the globe. Great moments on ESPN.
We've got 4 high-stakes gamblers, 4 of the best poker players in the world, matched up at 4 different events.
Mike has picked a card toss. Ted has picked ping pong. Robert picked air hockey. And I picked a spelling bee.
We are playing for a seat in the final event of the World Series. This is about as high stakes as it gets.
The prop betting is all about ego. And winning this would be huge.
Some fans having fun with their frustration. We'll detail what's happened to the 4-9 Bills as the season goes on. What happened to Jake Plummer this offseason was sitting down and going back through every pass of last year and learning where he can be better. And he has really turned it around. A mistake-free season for the most part. Handoff to Anderson. Really worked hard to get back to the line of scrimmage. For Jake Plummer, in his 9th year out of Arizona State, it was in one system where he had to make so much happen and didn't have the same set of talent. And even his first 2 years in Denver, there was an adjustment. Now with Mike Shanahan's tutelage, Gary Kubiak, the coordinator, at age 31 on Monday, Plummer's matured and makes much better on-field decisions.
Protect Jake from himself with the running game, and that has done a big help in allowing him to let everyone else do their job. And if they can come out and do this right here.
Anderson running up the middle for a first down, gain of 15 yards, brought down in the secondary by Nate Clemens.
Because this is why Jake Plummer has had the success he has had in 2005, is the Denver Broncos have done a great job of establishing things like this. And early on, you may have seen last week, they didn't run the football as effectively versus the Baltimore Ravens, but it's running backs getting out of the track. And Mike Anderson, a guy from the crib, he's from South Carolina, a guy that got out of the track a little bit, but now they're starting to get back to the little details, getting back to running their right track. So that is why you see Mike Anderson going to start to have some success. I believe he's going to have a lot of success tonight if the Denver Broncos hand him the football.
From the 35, throw complete. Rod Smith across midfield. Gain of 23 and a first down into Buffalo territory at the 41-yard line.
Well, let's see. We start off with a run, pick up gain of 14, come back with a very nice little play action, shallow crossing route, catch the football in his hands, watch him protect the punch out, move the football. Best route runner in football by bar none. Rod Smith does a great job of settling this offense down and keeping them on schedule, doing a lot of things that a lot of running backs like to do.
See, catch 70 on the year, third player to do it 9 seasons or more in terrific company with Tim Brown and Chris Carter. Here is Anderson. He's denied for more on, as a penalty marker's down, more on the whole Jake Plummer equation in this offense. Let's go back down to Susie.
Well, Mike, his teammates could see that change in the decision-making starting back in training camp, just how he was taking care of the ball. Away from Bernie Cooper. Yeah, just he started doing it in training camp, practicing throwing the ball away. Rod Smith told us how at one practice there was a guy watching from a distance. Jake wanted to throw the ball away, almost hit the guy in the head, and they called that was their best practice.
He has taken that throughout the season, and that has cut down the interception number and allowed the Broncos to get leads on teams. And here's the phrase again, manage the game in the second half.
Something that he was very proud to become, Mike, and being named a manager, and he's doing an excellent job of it this year.
After the holding penalty, 1st and 20, Tatum Bell in the game in the backfield. The Plummer throws incomplete, intended for Ashley Lally, trying to find the crease in that Buffalo zone. Sterling, you've played so many games in Green Bay. On nights like this, when it is cold and it is damp, the field is not dry and sharp. What is the most important thing for the passing game on nights like this?
For receivers, make sure your shoulders are over your knees. Make sure you understand how to sink your hips, get your weight down, because it's your body weight that'll keep your cleats in the ground, allow you to get in and out of your breaks. If you can win in what we call transition, like Rod Smith does, it'll make you a more effective wide receiver.
2nd and 20. Here is Plummer with time, throwing to Smith, who is hit hard by the combination of Angelo Crowell and Terrence McGee. We will have 3rd and about 12 coming up.
A lot of people may not realize this, but what Rod Smith just did, a lot of young receivers get their helmets knocked off because it's man-to-man and there's someone free in the middle. Rod Smith geared down himself, controlled his body, caught the football in his hands, and protected himself after making the catch, which is something that a lot of young guys won't or can't or don't understand how to do.
Sam Adams, the big plugger in the middle, did not start. In there for Buffalo on the defensive line. Empty backfield on 3rd and a dozen. spring pressure, ball out quick and incomplete. Nice job by Buffalo to disrupt the timing. London Fletcher from the middle backer spot forces this Denver punt.
3rd and 12, the Denver Broncos are probably going to end up punting the football on 4th down. They are not a long yardage offense. Remember, they have to run the football to set up everything they do. When they are not allowed, when Jake's a straight drop back passer, he may be below average as a quarterback in this league. But when he gets to use the play action pass, 113 passer rating, 72 passes complete. He is very effective, #1 in the NFL when he can play action pass. They need to run the football.
Todd Sauerbrunn on for his 2nd punt. The stats look better than the punt did. Bill showing a little extra pressure. Jim Leonard tried to get in off the edge. Roscoe Parrish calling the fair catch at the 10-yard line. The Bills will take over Mike Shanahan's offense. Only 2 first downs on the first 2 drives.
After the bench did more than its fair share in the first half. Here's Gay, a part of the rally here in the second half.
Whirl away.
About next year if they get all their guys back, the people that were injured this year.